Hello, friends, and welcome to the Monday Show 25. I'm your host, Wes. With me, as always, my good friend Roots. Roots, is it 25 already?
Yeah, man. Time's still flying. It's crazy. Yeah. Actually, as you said 25, I was like 25. Crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? We're already a quarter of the way to 100 episodes, and it seems like we're still trying to kind of figure out what we want to do with the Monday Show. It's like we just started yesterday, right?
It is kind of like we started yesterday, but if we could have started yesterday with this kind of um underneath our belt, I guess that everything we've done for the last 10 months, man, imagine where the show would be now. So,
Yeah. Well, imagine where we're going to be
yeah,
in just six
that's
months.
right.
Anyway, still relatively quiet in the world of VR. Still some, calmness and freedom when you're a content creator. That's what quiet means. It means freedom to play what you feel like and cover what you feel like. So we had another chance to hit the backlog hard and heavy, right?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it was kind of cool because, well, a couple things. My first game that I went into for the backlog, it wasn't even my choice. I blame a couple of people. I blame Jim Hall primarily, just because once I was in there, and Sloth Monkey was really the culprit. He got me. He wanted to see my score, so he got me to go back. I friended him on Steam. He got me to go back into Steam. I haven't been on Steam's Audica for 6 months, maybe. I think 5 months. I know Radio Runt. He started challenging me on Oculus, and I just got out of control. Wes, I playing over there. I forgot about Steam, so I went back over to Steam, and I realized, oh my God, Jim Hall's been like crushing my records, man. Like, so I had to start taking back some of those records, and there's a couple that I couldn't. I've only played like 5 or 6 songs. Destiny for one, he's just rocking it, man. I don't know if I can beat him on that one, but man, it solidified how much I love this game, and I was right back into it, and it shows me that it's better than Beat Saber. Beat Saber, I didn't play it for a year. I went back into it, and I was fucking bored, Wes. It was boring. I didn't play this for, I don't know. It's only been a month or two, and I went back into it, and I was immediately enthralled and was back into how intricate the levels were and how fun it was. And I ended up playing for like an hour and 15 minutes. I was going to play for like 10, 15 minutes. I don't know. Just jumping in there, and time got away from me. So,
Yeah, well, one of the cool things about the last week or two is even though we haven't had any or many new titles released, we have had a lot of updates, a lot of DLC, this sorts of things, and Audica included in that. There was a few songs recently. I think it was the PlayStation VR exclusives came over to the PC version. Have you tried those songs out yet?
see, I don't know which ones those are. I did run into some. I was looking for ones that after I played the normal pop stars, there's certain ones that I just really love the way that the songs are laid out. So I always play those ones, but I went looking for ones that I had never tried before, and I think one of them was in the first couple songs, and I noticed Jim Hall had rocked the fucking score way up there, and then I crushed his score. It made me feel good. But no, man, that's what I love about this game is just going back and forth between people. I've got so many people now on my friends list I'm battling against. I've even got a gaming science teacher now on the Oculus side, giving me a run for pop stars, and it's just fun.
See, that's how it works when you're worried about Jim Hall. Radio Run's going to get you, and when you're worried about Radio Run,
Jim
uh,
Jim Hall
Jim
will.
Hall. We've been wondering where Jim Hall's at. He's just been thrashing your Audica scores this whole time. He says he has like important stuff going on
Yeah,
now.
he's just been
His important
training.
stuff is burying Roots while he's not looking.
He's been in training. I'll tell you what, man, he's crushing the score. So whatever he's doing's working. But yeah, the good news with on the Oculus side, and this is a testament to Radio Run. I don't know if I'll ever catch that dude, man. He is good. I'll tell you, he's my nemesis on the Oculus side for sure.
Yeah, I've only played it a couple of times. I really enjoyed it when I was in there. One of my things that I do remember, I wanted some more environments. Have they updated the environments, or is it still just the two?
No, they've got like 4 or 5 now. They got more guns. They've got, I mean, of course, they got the campaign. They got a lot of stuff going for this game. And now that they're adding songs, um, I just like I said, I get so defensive because I mean, who doesn't get defensive about their babies? But it's just such a better game to me than Beat Saber. Beat Saber did come first, and it's got a lot of people knowing about it, and it's just I don't know, simple.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I enjoyed it more than Beat Saber as well. But I'd like to try again now that we kind of have the full version of both. They were both kind of early access uh, titles, or at least early in their development when I played them, 6 months ago or whatever it was. They've both matured a lot since then. New tracks, new features. I'd like to get the full version of each and really. You know, make my mind up for sure. I mean, Audica was better back then, but again, it's a different show now.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? I think it was Radio Runt that was saying it. It really resonated with me. He said because I was saying that this game really makes you feel like you're dancing more than it's actual rhythm game than more than Beat Saber. I mean, that let's think about what it is as far as what harmonics does. But he said it reminded him of like you're conducting music. And I thought, that's a really good way to look at it, and it's exactly what it feels like, and that's why I lean towards this game so heavy because Beat Saber's fun. It's just not like a rhythm game, not like the traditional rhythm games of old school, and I think Harmonix nailed it. And every people are finding out, and it's getting more and more popular, and I can't wait to see where we're at a year from now. So,
Well, according to Upload VR, it's okay at best, Roots.
fuck Upload then. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So we have some downtime to hit the backlog. No surprise here. Roots jumping into Audica, checking out his old stomping ground on Steam there, and taking on Jim Hall. Shout out Jim Hall, by the way. Showed up in the chat this past Saturday when we did our Virtual Strangers 44. A great member of our community, much missed, and really glad to see him back.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, what did I do with my time? Well, a few weeks ago, I mentioned to everyone on our show that the makers of Scraper First Strike were working on a new title, Scraper Gauntlet, and that it was in open beta, and all you had to do is to go onto the Discord and fill out the form and sign up for it, and you can participate, which I did at that time, and I never played it. It just sat there. They sent me the key. It sat in my email. I never tried it. So I thought this past week, while I had a little extra time, I would jump in and check out Scraper Gauntlet. And what can I say, Roots? It was pretty much what I thought it'd be. I hold these developers in fairly high regard. The Scraper First Strike was a good game, high production values, and that was pretty much the first thing I noticed here when I got into Gauntlet was that for a beta, it sure didn't seem like a beta. I was expecting some jankiness, some bugs, nothing like that. It seemed like a finished game during my time in it.
Cool. So this is against the computer, or is this PvP? I can't remember. I thought it was PvP.
This is the dreaded wave shooter.
Oh,
This
that's right. Okay.
versus the computer. Basically a standard wave shooter. This game is.
Okay, yeah, that's why I remember when you asked me if I had picked it up. I was like, no, I didn't. So what are your thoughts? Was it like better than you thought, or was it? I mean, how far did you get? Did you beat it? No.
No. There's a fairly substantial campaign to it. I played it just a little over an hour. I had fun the entire time. I didn't want to stop. It was it was what I expected. It was a very good wave shooter. I was surprised, like I said, at how polished it was. Again, it didn't seem like a beta. It seemed like a fully fleshed out game. Um, but no, it's what you would think it would be. You kind of go in. They did a good job of setting up the campaign with the story. So you go into the game, and they give you some story tidbits. They run you through a pretty lengthy tutorial, because even though it is a wave shooter, it's not just grab a gun and shoot. There's a little bit to it. You have your weapons are in gauntlets that you're wearing on each hand. You have three separate weapons that you can choose from, and they all level up with new features, functions, and abilities. Each hand also has defensive capabilities, and you have some special abilities like force grabbing and throwing things as well that you can do. So as far as wave shooters go, this one pretty fairly fleshed out, detailed experience, and a campaign that's rooted in the Scraper's story.
Okay. You don't have your pod though, right? No pod?
No pod this time. One of the things I didn't really care for about it, when you're in the overworld, when you're not in the rounds shooting the waves of enemies, you're in this kind of overworld, and you have locomotion in the overworld. But as soon as you get into the wave, it's classic wave shooter action. You can't move. There's no locomotion. You're stuck, and you're just firing away on the enemies.
Doesn't even look like you have anything you can hide behind either. Now, did you get to build your gun and customize it and stuff, or?
Yeah, that's kind of the whole thing here is you build your gun or your gauntlet to begin with, and then as you defeat the waves, you unlock upgrades, which you grab and physically install on the gauntlet to gain new features, and you also gain skill points, kind of like on Borderlands, or Stormland for that matter, and you can apply those skill points to anywhere you want in like a skill tree to develop your character further. I mean, as far as the gameplay goes, it's pretty basic, wave shooter gameplay. There's a lot to the weapons and stuff, and there's fairly high level fleshed out progression to your character as well.
Yeah, sounds interesting, but still hasn't sold me. But we'll see when it comes out. How good it is.
Well, I mean that's the thing.
It's in beta.
You never. I mean, there's nothing that I can really say to you to sell a wave shooter to you. There's nothing I can say that's going to make you want to play it. Really, you just have to try it out to see if you like it.
True. I really like. There's some ones I really liked. What's the most popular one with humor? I can't remember. Evading my mind right now, and then Evasion as well.
Are you talking about like Dick Wilde?
No, there was the other one. It's just not coming to my mind right now. But Space Pirate Trainer. I really enjoyed that one. That wasn't those fucking crazy. Just so much going on, But
yeah, I would say this is one of the better ones. Space Pirate Trainer, probably a little more frenzied as far as the gameplay goes, but those enemies are a lot easier to kill than these ones are. This actually fairly challenging, even from the very beginning of the game. They give you like a tutorial round, which is easy. You can't really die in it, or maybe you can. I don't know. But after you get out of the tutorial and actually get into the game, it's challenging right away. Like I died a couple of times before I got the hang of it and started winning a few rounds. But I would say it's quite a bit above average as far as wave shooters go. This is a good one.
Oh, cool.
And if you like this sort of thing and you're not just sick to death of it, I think it's worth a look.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, the whole thing with it's going to be price. I think this is a solid $15 title. I think when you start to get up to 20 and 25, I think it's going to be a little overpriced at that.
Oh, hopefully they listen to you and it comes out for 14.99 and people snatch it up probably. So
Yeah. Well, it was fun. I didn't want to quit playing. I quit. I stopped because I had other stuff to do. But I played it. I played it for a good solid, I don't know, probably 75 minutes, and wanted to keep going.
that,
So that should say something, right?
yeah, it's true. That's exactly what happened to me with my next game. Except for I came out and I was like, oh fuck, man. It's like it was late and I was like, we got to film and it was Boneworks and man, I will tell you, Jankworks was fucking no, I mean Boneworks. No, just kidding. Um, there were so many things that going on through my mind in this playthrough, Wes, because this is exactly where I started, right here at this part, because this is where I was at, and I was just re-blown away by so many things about how you were saying the immersiveness. Like I got so far into this game and it just kept going and going and it took forever and it just because it's so good, but it also reminded me that, man, there's some fucking jank, dude, some physics jank, some really weird, like there was this part where I was sliding down this sewer area and I had to climb back up, pull my way up these bars, and I'm sure Drillo knows exactly where I'm at. Main fan would know exactly where I'm at. Like, dude, it was pulling teeth. It took me so long to pull myself up these things because my arms, I had to do this weird thing to get it to grab, and it was just bizarre, man. Like, it's just showed me that the physics in this is not perfect at all. And that being said, I had so much fun playing it. And it's just shows you that not every game is going to be perfect, but it was just fun.
Yeah, yeah. The production level of this game is just so high. Uh, it's it really makes honestly it really makes me excited for Half-Life Alyx, because I think Half-Life Alyx is going to have the production quality of Boneworks and the tempered approach to the physics like Saints and Sinners has. So I think we're going to get kind of the best of both when Alex comes out. But this one, incredible game. I haven't been playing it much lately, but it's only because I've been waiting on the update for the mid-level game saves. Have they updated it yet?
I see. I hadn't heard. Somebody said that they did, and so I hadn't for sure seen, but they must have because I died a couple times, and it was not that far back from where I was at, which was nice because there was a point when I would have came out like a half hour, 45 minutes earlier, because if it would have started me back at a certain point, I would have been like, fuck this, dude. But it was like literally right back to where I was at. And I was like, okay, cool. Because at this point, this is when things start getting difficult as far as the enemies. You start getting more of the soldiers that are rolling around on those balls. You have the actual, I finally ran into the spider robot things that are jumping in your face. And so it was actually really cool. I guess I'm at warehouse 4B. So I, like you, I didn't want to finish, but literally I had to get out because I knew Wes was like, what the fuck is Roots doing? We got a show to film. So
Oh no, I know how it is, brother. You ain't got to worry about me. I would have just went back into Scraper for another hour.
yeah, yeah. So it was good. So
But yeah, I mean, to hold your attention right now when we've had so much fun playing Saints and Sinners, I mean that says something. The question is now, are you back on Boneworks, or are you going to go back to Saints and Sinners?
I think I'm gonna do both actually. Because I went into Saints and Sinners a little bit last night, and I finished some parts that I hadn't finished, and started progressing again. I'm weird. Well, okay, I am weird, but let me preface this. Main fan really thinks this is weird. Like, he does not understand this at all. But when I like a game, I don't want it to finish. I don't want it to end. So I'll start to drag my feet a little bit because I want I want a month from now to go into that game and still have something more to finish. I'm the same way. The way he feels about me, and that's weird. I think it's weird to want to rush through a good game and want to have it be over. That to me is weird. So that's weird, man. Fan. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I guess everybody's got weirdness, right? So,
So basically, what you're saying is you like to save that chocolate cake
yes.
and keep like 3 bites of it in a wrapper in the refrigerator, and pulling out and just nibble a little bit here and
Yeah,
there.
yeah, it's kind of like when you were a kid and you had that Easter bunny, the solid one, not the cheap ass hollow ones, but the solid
yeah.
ones, and you would gnaw on it for a little bit, man, and then it would start to get nasty because it was just you're not supposed to gnaw on that thing forever. But yeah, I want to gnaw on these games, make them last, stretch them out. I do want to finish them at some point, but yeah, no, I really enjoyed
Well,
Boneworks. Reminded me how good it was. So.
That's really the cool thing about this particular point in VR history is we have so many recent great titles that we could put them in rotation now and just be good for a long time. I mean, if you put Asgard's Wrath, Stormlands, Boneworks, and Saints and Sinners, and maybe throw in like the GTA 5 mod, maybe a couple other games, and like some palette cleansers like Pistol Whip and Audica. If you could probably take 6 to 8 games, put them in a rotation, and be good for months, right?
Yeah, you could even add the wave in there. One thing that I will say in this, meant to mention this about Boneworks. The one thing that really stood out about this particular gameplay, and it opened my eyes to something that has nothing to do with the game. I experienced for the first time, Wes, super frustration with the Rift S tracking, to the point where I want to have outside tracking at some point, because those guns in this game, and I guess it's the Boneworks, they need to fix their gun because other games do it. I don't know, man. Like I couldn't fucking aim with that one with the scope, and I'm doing this, and it's skipping back and forth, and I'm trying to do weird shit, and I died once because of it, and I'm killing things like holding it out, hoping to hit it, and you know what I mean? Like super frustration with that gun, to the point where when I got an Uzi, I was like, oh, thank God, because I can actually hold it and it's not weird. So there's something to be said about that. I never really took it seriously. It never really affected me personally, but the Rift S tracking obviously is not perfect, and there is something to having that outside tracking in, outside in.
You very well could be correct, but I would also offer that most of my experiences with two-handed scoped weapons in VR have been weird and janky like that. Like I haven't had very many where I said, "Wow, that really feels good." And I'm talking about from before with the CV1, even up until now with the Rift S. They've always felt weird and jerky. The only time
this was different though, man. This was like, it was like I couldn't, my gun would fucking I mean, it was clearly the tracking. I don't know, man. It was more than what I've experienced with the CV1 before. And it's just that and I guess people have bitched about Boneworks being that way. And maybe it's like you've said before, the developers really have to take into consideration the limitations of the inside out tracking and make adjustments for it to where you don't notice it. And if they don't, it's just another thing that they need to work on with Boneworks.
Right. Well, here's to Half-Life Alyx, right?
Yeah.
Coming right up soon. Hopefully it's going to take all the best things that Boneworks did, all the best things that other VR games have done, put them all together, and then bring everything to a new level. Because to be quite honest, that's what I'm expecting from Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Anyway, to wrap up my week of non-Saints and Sinners gameplay, and let me preface this by saying I played Saints and Sinners this week. I mean, we're talking about the other stuff we played, but if you want to talk about what did I play this week, I played Saints and Sinners. I mean, that's where 90% of my time went. Between that, actually, I probably have the most time in the wave this week. Honestly, we've spent so much time going into these parties and conversing with people and dancing and hot tubbing it up.
Mm.
Honestly, that's pretty much what we did this week, right?
Yeah, I need to look and see. I'll go and see what time I've spent in there. I guarantee it's been 10 to 12 hours in the last couple days. So
That's nuts, isn't it, for a social VR experience?
yeah, especially with the way these people are. I mean, this is their world, dude. Like we ran into that again this week, Wes. Nobody that different people didn't even know what the Walking Dead saints and sinners were, and and people are thinking that the wave this is what this technology was made for, was this wave experience, and there's no way it could be run in PlayStation VR, but it'll run on the
Yeah.
Quest, and we're like, no, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a technical achievement, the way VR, that can only be run on high-end PCs.
Yeah.
Didn't you know?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
the wave's awesome. We spent a lot of time in that. Between that and Saints and Sinners, I mean, what, 95% of our time this week
Yeah.
probably went into those two. But I did make some time for Summer Funland. But why would I go back into Summer Funland? We pretty thoroughly covered Summer Funland before, right? Well, they just patched it today, honestly, or I guess yesterday at the time that you're watching this. There's a new area to the park. It's called Sports Island. And yeah, you kind of get over there by boat the same way you go to Carousel Island. You go to that same little area down there, and there's two boats now instead of just one.
Mm.
And you go over to the Sports Island, and it's a nice new area to the park. You know, one thing that Summer Funland does really well is nail that aesthetic, that feel of what it's like to be in an amusement park. And the new sports area, no different. It feels really cool to be over there.
Yeah. So when are they going to bring co-op to this game, man? Like, I want to ride these rides with you, Wes, or take a deep sea submarine ride. And this game is so cool. I think what you were saying, just add a friend, man. Let me have a friend in there, and I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, that's kind of what's holding this thing back from being a great must-have VR game, is the fact that you have to do it by yourself when you're in an environment that, if it were real life, you would 100% of the time have friends and family with you, right?
Yeah, I can't remember. Once in my life I've gone by myself. Some people do. I just think it's something that you do with other people, usually anyway.
Those people are called predators, Roots.
Yeah. Only if they hang out at Disney. But yeah.
Anyway, the Sports Island, aside from being a very large or fairly large, fleshed out, nice new addition to the park, three new attractions on Sports Island. There's a basketball challenge, there is a table tennis ping pong challenge, and a baseball challenge. And I started with the basketball challenge, had very low expectations for it. But I got to say, Roots, I was surprised. It felt pretty close, about as close as a VR simulation of shooting a basketball can get.
Yeah, see, the only thing about the basketball, it seems like most games haven't got it down 100%, is the weight of the basketball. It's either too heavy or too light. So hopefully they got that down. And so it's kind of cool, though, that they're still adding to this game, right? It's been out for, you played it on PlayStation VR a couple years ago, right? Isn't that how you first played it?
I think so. Yeah, it's been a while since I played it, but no, I remember what it was. It was coming out on PlayStation VR, so I played the Viveport version.
Oh, okay.
Is what I did. I did it though like a week or two before PlayStation VR before it came out on PlayStation VR, so that those people could know what to expect with it.
Okay. Yeah, I know this is one of my favorite games as far as this type of genre, and You know, it's just pretty cool. The only thing that frustrated me about this one is um, getting to that final destination. Did they add another stupid stuffed animal? You know, trying to find those stuffed animals. There's one I still fucking haven't never found.
Yeah,
And, you
that's
know,
me. There's one that I haven't found either.
yeah, and then they started adding shit, and then they got that maze, the one with the laser maze, and that's like the worst one ever. And then they make you get a stuffed animal for that one, Wes, and that's when I tuned it off. I just decided I'm never finishing this game. I'm never gonna find the stuffed animals because I'm not one of those people that's gonna go look for a video to find them, and I'm just not looking anymore. Now that's where it would benefit to go on with you, and then we could just run around and you could show me where they're all at, and then I'm done. It's easy.
There you go.
I could
You
get
got
to
the
cheat.
plan, bro.
Yeah. So
No, but the basketball actually felt really good. You don't really dribble. It's a shooting challenge. It kind of moves you around like kind of like a 3-point contest would go, but it's not in that same order. It kind of moves you around on the court. That's what you do on one half of the court. On the other half of the court, there's a kind of a catch and shoot challenge where it fires the ball at you. And it was pretty cool. It's kind of hard to catch the ball. You kind of have to lead it a little bit. If you catch it right, if you try to catch when it right as it gets to your hand, sometimes it'll fly through your hand and you'll miss. So you kind of have to lead into it. You have to try to catch it right before it gets to you. But that was pretty fun. But the one on the other end, the shooting challenge, I thought was really good and very well done. Same thing with the ping pong. A little bit of a learning curve with the ping pong. I got to imagine that the dedicated table tennis games like Racket Fury are probably better. But after I played it a few times and got used to how it plays, it felt really good and it was fun. There were 3 levels of difficulty. And it felt like I was playing ping pong after I got the hang of it. That said, switching to forehand did not feel natural. The racket angle was kind of off, so it kind of made it so that you had to play backhand, 99% of the time. But after I got used to that, I was putting English on the ball. You can actually put some spin on it and make it do different things, and I had fun with it.
oh wow. Well, it sounds like I don't know about holding it at a weird angle though. I know that isn't that one of the things they fixed for Walking Dead, right? Was the way you hold a knife or something people were complaining about at first or something? Was that the
Yeah, they did put an angle fix into the options. I never really had any issue with it though to begin with, so maybe that was more of an index or Vive thing.
Yeah, so I'm just I guess my point is we can hold out hope that someday we could hold the ping pong paddle normal,
Ping,
right?
ping pong?
I can't hear that now without thinking that. You've ruined that for me, Wes. But yeah, no, yeah, so what about the third one? You said there was a third sport, correct?
Yeah, the third one was baseball, and I don't remember if it was on the show or before the show. I was talking to you earlier about how Summer Funland kind of had some difficulty letting you hold items with 2 hands, and that's kind of what doomed the baseball experience. It's kind of this home run derby thing with an automatic pitching machine throwing the balls at you, and you're kind of trying to see how far you can hit them. There's different zones. You get points depending on how far you hit it, but you can only hold the bat one-handed. And so you're pretty much overhand clubbing these balls for the most part, and they don't it's not like the pitcher puts them in front of you. Like the balls can come behind you, above your head, all over the place. So you pretty much, instead of standing in a batting stance, you're standing with a bat in one hand facing dead on this thing and trying to hit the ball wherever it goes. And, I did fairly well at it. It just wasn't very fun.
Sounds like VR fur balls where you're using everything except for you know, all these different weird types of a baseball bat as a golf club, you know. Yeah, it doesn't sound like very fun. Very good.
Yeah, yeah. The baseball thing wasn't that good, but as far as the sports island as a whole, to put it in the words of the great Meatloaf, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, Roots.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Well, 2 out of 3 is not bad, and anytime you can use a meatloaf reference, you're good. I think so.
I agree. I think we're good, and I think that's going to wrap up the backlog report, Roots,
Yep.
and move us on to our topic of the week. So, Roots, the Steam store kind of has this reputation for having this gigantic selection of games, and it's become well known, among the VR community that if there's a game out there, a VR game, it's most likely on the Steam store. And in recent weeks, Viveport has started to develop this reputation for having this great selection of all these games. It wasn't that long ago where Viveport was a joke, but now Viveport Infinity has quickly become known as the best deal in VR, and it's because of its great library of games. But amongst all the great games that are available on Steam and the great games that are available on Viveport, I kind of feel like the Oculus Store has been overlooked. And I feel like if people would just get in there and take a look on the Oculus Store, they're going to find out that not only are all of your favorites available on the Oculus Store, or at least most of them, but there's some really, really great, high quality hidden gems on there as well.
Yeah, and they're actually really relatively priced at a decent price, right? Like they're not overpriced, and you're getting your good bang for your buck, is what I would say.
Yeah, and if you have an Oculus headset and you're not using Revive, you get that extra peace of mind that to know that when you buy this, it's going to work on your equipment and it's not going to be janky. Everything's just going to be smooth.
Well, and the good news is even if you do have a different headset, like these games are well worth using Revive. These are why I would get Revive. And we'll just go ahead and go into the first one. We've already had mentioned it on the show once in passing, but now we've got a detailed actual trailer here, and it's Sharkferno. And like what I've said before, like anytime you've got flying sharks, fuck man, dude, I am there. I wanna be a part of it. How about you?
Well, first of all, this lady here, who's the lead character, she's thick, Roots, thick with 2 C's, and she's got some junk in the trunk. So we've got that going for us right off the bat. But beyond that, I mean, look at this user interface. The UI in this game, next level. I mean, at first I was thinking that it might look like something from Microsoft Paint, but clearly this was done in Paint 3D.
No, yeah, and well, see, I thought I was going to be put off by the fact that they were flying and that they weren't in water as well, but that just doesn't seem to be a problem in this game, Wes. Like suspending that immersion or that level of immersion is not going to be a problem, I don't think. But yeah, no, this is quality jet. I mean, the best part about this, Wes, $199 all day, out the door, cheap as fuck. And man, look at that guy. He's like getting bit. Oh, he was getting bit. So I'm assuming like you have your posse, man, and that guy just got killed by a shark. This chick was not doing a good job protecting that guy.
Well, look, dude, you're flying in drone strikes on sharks like you're Barack Obama or Donald Trump. I mean, that shark. I think if I were playing this game, I would nickname it like Kasim Soleimani or something because of the quickness that it just got taken out.
It's got an intense scene. Did you see that? It's got comfort, moderate, and intense. So it looks like you could really really get some crazy action going on in here. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think I need to pick this up. It's only 199, and I really want to see the leaderboards for it, because I saw that there was like you could save 24 people. Like, can I get to 25? Can I beat Mame Fan and get into 25? Yeah, it looks good.
I don't know. Take it easy there, Roots. Too much chocolate cake,
Yeah.
you might get a bit foundered. In case you're on the fence, let's read the description, shall we?
Okay.
Sharkferno is a frantic, fun third-person experience. You can play as a flying drone or as a human, and get this, Roots, switch your consciousness between them with the press of a button. Save the residents of an island by shooting fiery weapons at flying sharks. So it's not even like regular sharks, Roots. It's flying sharks. And when you've got flying sharks coming at you, what choice do you have other than to transfer your consciousness into a flying drone?
Yeah, I'd be getting quick away from that shark. Yeah, the drone's the way to go. It's very safe. You can sit back. You don't even have to worry about getting attacked there. So it looks like it's got that little swimming person though. So I don't know if people actually get to swim or if that's just how many people you saved. But yeah, I'm call me intrigued. 199, and I don't know, man. Looks well worth $1.99 for sure.
Combine free movement with consciousness switching to get to where the action is for last minute rescues. After the evil sharks have been vanquished, chill and soar around. Aim weapons with natural arm movements while playing as a human or as the flying drone. So they're saying after you've defeated the sharks, you can still just keep going. The game doesn't stop when you've defeated the enemy. It just goes on forever.
I don't even know how that's possible, but let me ask you this. Like, why did the people just not run in the hut and like hide? Why did all 24 people need to just run around frantically? It'd be a lot safer.
Dude, you're at the beach, right?
Okay, that's right.
Flying fucking sharks come at you. Are you going to be applying this logic, or are you going to be freaking the fuck out because there's flying sharks coming at you,
You're
man?
right. I might run in circles and until I get eaten. Or I think I would probably hope that there was a drone or a chick coming that was going to take care
You
of them.
can probably just close your eyes and summon the drone with your consciousness, right?
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. So yeah, if you're on the fence, like you said, $1.99, and you're good.
You kill the sharks, they turn upside down like they're in a fish tank or something.
Yeah, well, and then they disappear. They despawn after about 2 seconds. So
That's what they get for flying in my no-fly zone.
yeah, well, speaking of flying in your no-fly zone, the next one is something kind of up my alley with my job, but it's Fly Killer, right?
Yeah.
The beauty of this is your whole point is to keep the flies away from your sushi. And well, I'll let you read the description of the, because that's where the gem comes through. I didn't get it until I heard the description.
So the deal is here, and by the way, before I get into the premise of this game, I just want to put it out there, highly likely that this is how the coronavirus got started. We know that it has spread to the popcorn butter, but I think this is where the origins lie. So the whole premise here is you're at a sushi bar. You're trying to keep the flies off of your stinking, rotting seafood. So how do you keep bugs off of your food? Oh, with the use of fly swats and insecticides, Roots.
Yeah, when I was watching them do this, and I do pest control for a living, and I don't think it's a good idea to spray pesticides right over your fish. I'm just throwing that out there. It probably would make you sick, depending on how strong it is. But I don't know, man. Maybe it'll help kill the coronavirus, like you said. But I don't know. This one I was on the fence, but it definitely looks pretty intriguing.
On the fence, you say? Well, let's check out the description.
Okay.
The seafood you sold in the fish shop attracts flies nearby. Now, more and more flies are coming. They will fall on your seafood and contaminate them. Destroying them is the only way to keep your seafood fresh. You will become a fly killer, using a fly swatter and a spray insecticide to eliminate flies. To reach a high score, you must make as many combo hits as possible. And when you kill enough number of flies, you will unlock the ultimate weapons, which are much more powerful. Be careful, green flies, because killing them is not good for you.
Be careful, green flies. So what did they mention? What is it, like a special fly swatter, or are you going to get some kind of special spray, or what the hell? See, now I got to get this game. What's the cost on this, man? Like, it's got to be
A solid $2, Roots.
okay, $1.99. So right now we're still, for these two games together, we're at less than a Starbucks cup of coffee.
That's right.
Yeah.
$5 can get you these two, and you get change back.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. What?
Hours of fun too, by the way.
Well, just in this game alone, I would think. Well, I think the next one would be even more apt to hold my attention, because it's fucking dinosaurs, Wes, and everybody knows it's fucking dinosaurs. Everybody knows dinosaurs is like the best in VR, and this one is no different, man. This is called Dinosaur Hunter, and the quality of this game, I was telling you when I watched this, I picture myself trying to decide, do I want to get Serious Sam 3 or do I want to get this game? Because both look very similar, and they, although I think Serious Sam is a little bit faster paced, I think, but no, this game is definitely unique, and yeah.
Well, you got to ask yourself, do you just really, really hate dinosaurs? Do you despise them so much that you want a realistic simulation of what it must be like to blow their frickin' brains out every minute of every day? If that's the case, then we have got the game for you, friends. Dinosaur Hunter VR, $2.99, Roots.
So the price is going up now, man. This is getting scary. So was that the actual description of the game you just read, or was that your?
Oh no!
Oh, okay.
No, friend. That's just my sales job. In this VR game, you will get to experience the thrill of shooting at dinosaurs. Doing this while immersed in virtual reality takes the fun of gunning down giant creatures to the next level. You begin with a few casual hunts to go after the harmless herbivores. Once you gain a bit of experience with shooting and earn some cash to buy bigger guns, you could go on missions to take down much more dangerous prey that won't just run away at the sight of your pistol. Happy hunting!
Wow. Now this is you can tell the difference of graphically, right? This was a Go game that was or even Gear, I think, that was ported up, right?
This looks like a PlayStation 1 game to me, Roots.
Yeah, maybe. I'll tell you what, man, you got me convinced. I was saying no wave shooters. Fuck that, man. I'm getting this one. I'm picking this up. So now we're at $7, and you got 3 quality games. Tell us about the fourth one, Wes. This one is...
Dude, if you think you're going to get away with just spending 7, I'm about to convince you to go ahead and drop that 10 spot.
Ooh.
Because for just $3 more, you can get WC Rage. Imagine what you need. You really need it. Nothing can stop you. You go to your goal. But oddly enough, unbelievable obstacles appear on your way. Your goal is to overcome such obstacles and move forward. Do what you have in mind. WC Rage is a dynamic VR game, an endless runner in which you play as a fearless sailor who really needs to go to the WC. Sailor runs forward, you lean to the left or to the right to dodge obstacles. Roots, it seems like no controller needed, just HMD guided madness.
What is going? I want to know. Is that toilet? Is that you, or is that something else? Like, like he's eating a bunch of stuff at the beginning, and then now I'm sitting in a toilet. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in this game, but I'm telling you, for $3, you can't go wrong. Looks kind of like something you have on your phone, right? Like one of those
Yeah.
subway games or whatever, subway crawler, or I don't know what they're called.
Just a little bit. No, I think what's going on here is that dude's eating some White Castle at the beginning, and everyone knows what happens about 20 minutes after you eat White Castle,
You
right?
need the toilet. Yeah, you need the flying toilet.
You need a flying toilet,
Oh,
right?
God.
So I think that's what's going on here. Oh, WC Rage. It actually is White Castle. WC White Castle.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so I guess they are. That's what
It all makes sense now.
it is. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, for $3, what, $2.99? Right.
$2.99 Roots.
All right.
You can get the White Castle Rage.
Yeah, White Castle Rage. And that's real on a Friday night. That's for sure.
Now, who among you dares to besmirch the Oculus Store name? I mean, we're only 4 into a 6 list, and I think it's case closed already, right?
Yeah, but the next two really solidify it for sure.
Look at the cats fighting in the streets.
I like the whatever lizard or whatever that just went down the skateboard and down the street. That was pretty cool too. Actually, might be interesting to see what's going on in that street, man.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I
so
think so.
after seeing this guy here eating these White Castles, kind of segues into the next one game, which is called Fat Foods. And I'll let you read the description right off the bat because they really need to know what this is all about before they see some footage here.
All right. Having become too large from all the snacks, your only method of transport is rolling your fat self everywhere. In Fat Foods, the goal is to eat as much as possible. In multiplayer mode, 2 players utilize the Oculus and a PC monitor to go head-to-head. Roots, it's asymmetrical multiplayer with this.
We might have to
Armed.
play this thing.
Armed with a frying pan and spatula, the second player takes on the role of a giant. They must keep the other player from reaching the finish line. In the mall level, the second player becomes a huge monster, causing havoc to the environment.
Dude, there's a taco. Oh my God. So that makes sense. So okay, so I'm the fat guy rolling around in there. You grab this frying pan, you start flipping me around, and you just help me make it to the end, right? There you go.
Oh,
So what's the cost on this one, on this gem?
this one's a little more pricey. I gotta admit, $4 on this one, Roots.
God.
$3.99.
All right, so we're creeping up there. We're now at $14 for 5 games. That's still a good deal though. And
Yeah, that's kind of like Humble Bundle, but only instead of supporting charity. Well, I mean, I guess it kind of is like supporting charity. Never mind.
man, that guy is rolling like man. He is good, dude. Look at that. It's like slow mo. Zoom in. That is good. That's it's almost like a sporting event. So I don't know. This one looks pretty good for $4. I think it's well worth $4 for sure. Fat
Yeah, it's one of
Foods.
those games, kind of like Goat Simulator, only only Goat Simulator's kind of good.
Yeah.
You know.
I thought you were saying only not good. But no, this looks like if I had it like for free, I could spend like an hour enjoying it and be like, yeah, this is cool because it was free. But
Yeah, you know, to be honest, you know, we joke about these games, but the fact of the matter is, if I had to bet, I'd bet at least half of them are really fun.
yeah, this one doesn't look too bad. So
All right, Roots, how can we top this? How are we going to end off this awesome list of games that you can find today on the Oculus store.
Yeah, I didn't think
Well,
we could do it actually until you found this gem, and I was like, man, anytime you have a game that involves somebody's foot in the trailer, like how could you not want to watch it or play it? And that is Ashy Wash
yeah, or Ashi
or
Wash.
Ashi
I,
Wash.
I, yeah, I think this is a Japanese game, or maybe
Wait,
some other Asian.
that doesn't look like a Japanese foot though. If I'm being
That's
honest,
true.
maybe, but then again, I don't know my feet, um. But yeah, so tell
But
us a little bit about Ashi foot or
So
wash.
it is said that long ago in Japan, there was a certain mansion. Every so often, a strange thing happened in this place. A yokai in the shape of a giant foot appeared and demanded to be cleaned. If the resident cleaned the foot left peacefully. However, if the foot was not clean, then the foot stomped throughout the house and destroyed everything. Ashiwash takes this folktale and throws it into virtual reality. You have 3 minutes to clean the giant foot, and there are tools scattered throughout the house to help you. The foot gives hints, and a handy wristwatch lets you know how much time you have left before the foot smashes your house. Get cracking! Ashiwash is a short game with one level. There are secrets to uncover, and we hope you share it with friends.
What's the
The
cost on
game
this? Sorry.
the game also includes traditional non-VR mode, allowing players to explore areas of the house unavailable in VR. $2.99 roots for Ashiwash.
Yeah, I don't know, man. One level though. I'll tell you what though, like if I was the developer of this game, and I'm being serious here, and I'm making a game about this foot that we're cleaning, I'm drawing the line. I'm like, no, man, we're not putting a fucking foot in the trailer, dude. We're not putting someone's foot in the trailer. That's
You know what the funny thing about this is, though, Roots? I honestly believe that this is probably based on a true folk tale.
mm,
Like this is probably from like an actual dumbass story somewhere that somebody passed down through the generations about the giant foot that you must clean.
are you telling me you're not going to run out and go buy this story? Because I'm there. But no, my point is like putting a foot in the trailer. It's a little off-putting. I don't want to see somebody's
To
foot, man.
you,
Well, to
to you,
me, I
it's
don't know.
off-putting, but
Okay,
there's certain people that are just this sort of thing just tickles their pickle, if you know what I mean.
yeah, I guess, but maybe not in this trailer. But yeah, that's just so bizarre to me. But I don't know if you like it. Let us know in the comments below. But if you don't like it, tell us as well because Roots does not like it. And
I like the part where they say it's in VR, and VR just pops up all over the screen.
yeah, well, you know,
VR.
my thing is like I hope so because like I can't see myself playing this a flat screen game for sure. It's a toss up. I was going to get Sea of Thieves or I was going to get this or Jedi Order or this game, you know. So
You know what's surprising is that this is on the Oculus Store because I really would expect to see it on Ichito.
yeah, it is on the itchy toe. You know what's funny is we actually had a harder time finding these gems on the Oculus Store than we did, say, on Viveport, especially, or even Steam, because you know Oculus does seem to have a little bit higher standard, I guess, in some respect. I mean,
Well, I mean, if we've proven anything with today's
that
episodes,
there is not.
it's that Oculus has a higher standard.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. Well, maybe not, but you know, at least his toes are clipped, you know. So,
It
yeah,
kind of does give you perspective though when you see Oculus going overboard protecting their Quest store, and you want to really get mad about it, just take a deep breath. Think about Fly Killer VR. Think about Ashi Wash. Think about Fat Foods, and then you might have a little bit of perspective, and you might understand what they're trying to do there.
So let me ask you this: if tomorrow you see Quest Store has Ashi Wash on it, then is your mind blown? Like you're like, okay, you didn't put Pixel Rip 1989 on there, but Ashi Wash made it. Yeah,
To be honest, this very well could be on the side quest.
could be really. Well, SideQuest can. It's a totally different venue, really, kind of.
Yeah, it is a totally different venue.
So
Anyway, that's it, folks. Did we leave out your favorite Oculus Store game? Be sure to let us know in the comments down below. Or join us in our Discord. You'll find an invite link down in the description. We're in there all day, every day, talking about VR, talking about giant feet, talking about flies and seafood, talking about chocolate cake roots.
yeah.
It's a good time, right?
I'm pretty sure we'll be talking about feet all week after this episode airs. Somebody in there's got to be a foot person, but I don't know. I'm just saying that particular foot is just not a good foot, Wes. It looks weird.
Yeah.
And I don't want to offend anybody. I'm sure someone's really offended because that's their uncle's foot. Sorry, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, brother. Anyway, be sure to leave your favorite Oculus Store gem down in the description. And maybe next time on Volume 2, we will talk about your favorite Oculus Store gem. Anyway, if you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It's such a huge help as we continue to try to push toward our goal of 1,000 subscribers ASAP.
Yep. We're getting there.
That said, friends, yeah, we are. We're actually we're streaking a little bit at the moment. It seems to come and go. It's been coming.
Yeah.
Lately, right?
Yeah. I like it. I like it when it comes better. So when it's going.
Everybody likes it better when it's coming, right?
Yeah.
You know who else loves it when it's coming?
Your mom. It's not working.
The button. Oh, when the button works,
What if
it
the
works.
button
And when it
fucked
doesn't,
up, man? Yeah.
all right. On that note, friends, we would like to thank you for watching. For Roots, I'm Wes. We'll see you tomorrow, friends. Bye-bye.
Take it easy.